Welcome to my top 10 most anticipated and noteworthy comic books for February 28th, 2024. Guys, I'm Mike Spider Slayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. It's never too early to start that pull list for next week, and hopefully this list does help you make decisions on what comic books to buy. Before we get into it, guys, I just gotta give a quick shout out to Whatnot. If you guys never checked out Whatnot before, there's a link in my description box below. When you click on it, you guys will create your own profile. It's absolutely for free, and you will go on, win your first auction, and you get a $15 credit off of that first auction. So what are you waiting for, guys? If you're a collector of cards, comic books, Hot Wheel cars, whatever it is that you collect, get yourself $15 by just clicking on my link below. All right, guys, so here we go. The book that's on the hot seat, this one goes to the Resurrection of Magneto. This is issue 2. So in the first issue, we got to see Storm, who had a dream about Magneto, and now she's going to this other crazy realm to try to bring him back. Try to, I guess, get him resurrected. This book is written by Al Ewing. It's very way out there, and that's what you can always expect from Al Ewing's writing, right? So the first issue was quite interesting. I'm going to see if the second issue will continue to hold me and I continue to understand it and it's not so over my head. And if it does, I'll continue to read it. If not, I'll drop it. This is 28 pages. This is $5. Here's the book that's on the rise. This is Crashdown, issue 2. This is done by Comic Tom 101 and Fire Guy Ryan. I really liked the first issue. It was better than I expected it to be. And this was about the humans in the future where the sun is, I guess, going out and they have to find a different planet. And they went to a different planet and they crash landed on this other planet, right? And something happened to one of their fellow team members in that crash, but you just don't know what that is yet. I found it very interesting, science fiction, horror type of style of comic. We'll see what happens with this going forward. This is a $4 comic. Moving on to number 10. I roasted this comic book when I did my After the Pool series, but this is the Amazing Spider-Man. This is issue 44, the Gang War Conclusion. So Madame Mask is going to make her power move that she's been waiting for her entire life, right? We got to see her in the very beginning, and then in the next, she's kind of been in the shadows. You don't know what her motive is or anything like that. So now this is, I guess this is the payoff. This is what we've been waiting for. What's going to be the ramifications of the Amazing Spider-Man Gang War? Probably nothing. I mean, I can't see it being that way. It's just very anticlimactic. We'll see. This is legacy numbering 938, 28 pages, $5. The reason why I was on here is because I'm anticipating it being over. Number 9, we have SpiderPunk. This is issue 1. It's an encore. You wanted more. This is a world without Norman Osborn, so we have SpiderPunk in here. Listen, I wasn't a huge fan of the very first run of this. Cody Ziegler is the writer. His Miles Morales is pretty good. I just wasn't a huge fan of the way the first one was written or maybe the artwork, but I'll give it a second try here. I like the SpiderPunk character. I don't have too much to say about it, so we'll see what happens. It's 40 pages, $5. So speaking of Cody Ziegler, we have number 8 on the list. We have Miles Morales, issue 17. This is the fallout from the gang war. We saw the last issue, issue 16, wrap everything up with the gang war when it comes to Miles Morales. So obviously he's tapped out right now. He's trying to recover. And we're going to get to see what happens, you know, going forward with the character. It's leading up to issue 300. So is Miles Morales 300 going to be as popular as Amazing Spider-Man 300? No. Nothing will ever be more popular than that Amazing Spider-Man comic book. That is just iconic. And this is a legacy numbering, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So this one, though, is legacy numbering 299. Number 7, we have What If Venom issue 1. So obviously, we all know the story of how Venom was created, right? In the church tower, wound up leaving Peter Parker, wound up going to Eddie Brock. But what if that didn't happen? What if it went to different characters? Now, a lot of times these what if books are really a lot of fun, especially the original series back in the day. The newer ones, not as much, but I am still looking forward to it just because it has Venom involved. I think She-Hulk is in this one, Loki, all that stuff. So we'll see. This one's 28 pages. This one is $5. Number 6, we have Phantom Road, issue 9, written by Jeff Lemire. This is just a weird-ass book, man. I don't know what to say. Trucker and a girl wind up getting in an accident. They come into this artifact. You touch it. They want to go into this upside-down world. All these things are just like zombies. And then they go to a truck stop, and it's like a gateway where things turn normal again. And this artifact, they can't get away from it, because if they do, they die. So they took it to a hotel room in the next issue, and it wound up hatching, and it's a freaking baby, like, zombie thing. Weird. It's just weird. Typical from Jeff Lemire, right? Also, who's writing the Tenement right now, but I like it, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Number 5, we have Green Arrow. This is issue 9. So this is the Beast World fallout. Beast World is over. Obviously, you know Amanda Waller's involvement. She kind of wants to take out the heroes. She says the heroes are bad, of course. And now there's something going on because Red Arrow is obviously working for bad people as well, and he's trying to get involved. And now he's making a deal with Amanda Waller here. I don't know what to expect. This book, though, right now is better than the introductory arc, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. This is 32 pages, and this one is $4. Moving on to number 4, we have Wolverine, issue 44. This is Sabretooth War, part 4. Holy cow, that's a lot of 4s in one comic book. Make a wish, guys. So this series has been really good. Issue 1, issue 2 has been really solid, as we have Wolverine fighting against Sabretooth. Sabretooth going to Wolverine's, always making an appearance for his birthday and doing very wrong things. And we got to see bad things happen to Laura and other X-characters. But the last issue kind of was like a little like bridge or in between maybe certain things that are happening in the story, right? It was a little slower, not as impactful. But I don't know. We'll see how it continues. Hopefully it doesn't start to like drop down and it continues to go back up again. So loved issues 1 and 2, 3, okay, like I said, we'll see. Legacy numbering 386, 28 pages, $5. Moving on to number 3, we have the Invincible Iron Man. This is issue 15. So a long time ago in this comic, and it's the subplot of what's going on, is James Rhodey was framed and arrested for an intel gathering mission that I guess is not the truth. Let's just say that, okay? And of course, like, Orcus is behind everything here, and the whole thing is to basically frame Tony Stark. And Tony Stark this entire time has been trying to rebuild himself, trying to, go one up on Orcus. And, he's formed, like, the Hellfire Club, and they've secretly worked together to try to take on Orcus. He's married Emma Frost in this comic book, and they've developed a solid relationship. And I can honestly say, and I've said this multiple times, that this is the best X book I have read when it's come to the fall of X or this Krakoa stuff. It's really cool to see Iron Man, get built back up and become a hero again and have a real relationship. And it seems like it's a very organic relationship. It wasn't like, at first you felt it's for convenience purposes, but you can see that their relationship has really developed into something more. And I like that. And I love this new armor that he's coming out with to stop Orcus as well, to destroy their Sentinels. Just a lot of great stuff here, guys. Legacy numbering 665. And this is I think, $4 comic. Coming in at number 2, we have Avengers Twilight. This is issue 3. So in this comic, we've gotten to see, like, the old-ass Avengers, right? We got to see old-ass Luke Cage and Steve Rogers, and Steve Rogers has become Captain America again because there's something that, happened a long time ago where they weren't Avengers anymore. I think they called it H-Day or something like that. And then we had this new government Avengers come in, and things are not quite what they're seeing. People are seeing things that are not real. And Captain America is taking it in his own hands to let the people see the true light of the way the world is right now. That these people, these new Avengers, these new heroes are doing more harm than good, right? And the plan kind of backfired in his face in the last issue. He tried recruiting some people to join his team, and it just didn't work, right? And maybe now in this issue, maybe some people are going to go by his side, and maybe one of those people is Kamala Khan, because you did get to see her in the last issue, and she's much older now. She's like in her 40s, I think, and I thought that was kind of cool. So we'll see what happens, man. 40 pages, $5. All right, guys, so after number 1, don't forget, we're not done, as we still have those noteworthy comics to talk about, because there might be something in that list that might, you know, tickle your fancy, as I like to say, and you might want to pick that comic book up. So here we go. Number 1, most anticipated comic for next week. It's going to go to Duke issue 3. Really like this series. This one is written by Joshua Williamson, as we get to see the early days of Duke, the early days of Cobra, and in the last issue, you wind up getting to see Duke be arrested by his own G.I. Joe team because he's going rogue and he's doing things that he's not supposed to. But in that same jail cell, or the jail cell next to him, you got to see Baroness. What is she doing there? I don't know, man. That's very intriguing to me. Can't wait to see what happens. 32 pages, $4. Noteworthy comics. Here we go. Starting off with Marvel, as usual, we have the Immortal Thor. This is issue 7. Next, we have Dead X-Men. This is issue 2. Then we have Carnage, issue 4, who's finally doing battle against Flash Thompson Anti-Venom. And then we have The Punisher. This is issue 4. Really digging this series up until the last issue. It's getting quite generic at this point. Then we move on with Cable. This is issue 2. All right, so now we're going to talk about some DC comics. We're going to move on to Detective Comics, issue 1082. I dropped this like after the 3rd issue of Ron V taking this over. Just not my cup of tea, man. Then we have Flash, issue 6. Same thing, I'm just not enjoying this either. Harley Quinn, issue 37. Then we have the Batman, the Brave and the Bold. This is issue 10. We have the Penguin. This is issue 7. We have Jay Garrick, the Flash. This is issue 5. Next, we have Power Girl. This is issue 6. All right, so now moving on to the indie comics, we have World Tree. This is issue 8. Next, we have the Radiant Black, issue 28, and then we have like 28.5 as you see the 2 different perspectives of the war. Then we have Ice Cream Man, issue 38. It's been a while since it's come out, right? And then for the Conan fans, we have Conan the Barbarian. This is issue 8. And then you also have the Savage Sword of Conan. This is issue 1. Next, you have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This is issue 117. Next, we have the 2nd issue of Moon Man. And then we have a quite interesting book, The Fog. This is issue 1. And that is it, guys. There are the most anticipated and noteworthy comics for February 28th, 2024. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you're excited for. And as always, guys, I'll leave you more content right here. Check out my episode of After the Poll, where this is all the comic books I read for the current comic book week. It's a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys will find it, you know, enjoyable. And as always, guys, support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting, but always remember, read those comics. Guys, I'll see you on New Comic Book Day.